If you feel like you are behind on your retirement savings, I have got 5 things for you to do in order to understand if you are and how to fix the problem. Hi, my name is Dave Grant. I'm the founder of Retirement Matters, and welcome back to another episode of the 5-Minute Retirement Plan. A lot of time I get people in my office and they ask, how am I doing? Am I ready for retirement yet? Do I have enough money? And some of these people come in and they think that they are behind. Let me give you the 5 ways that we're going to figure out if you are behind and how to fix it. The first thing that you're going to do is we're going to pump the brakes a little bit. We're going to figure out what your situation is. We're going to figure out what you've got saved and what you're planning for, and that's how we're going to understand if you're behind, in the right place, or even ahead. So let's take you through how to get there. So this is going to be rough and dirty, but this is how you figure it out. You're going to calculate everything that you've got saved. So you're looking at 401ks, IRAs, taxable accounts, yada, yada, yada. Everything that you're going to use for your retirement income. Has to be the investment accounts, though. We're not looking at other things just yet. So get that number in place. The next thing you're going to do is figure out how much you're going to live on in retirement. That is an interesting question because it can be variable. It can change. And some people, if they're not even there yet in thinking about it, they have no idea. Put some rough ideas down. How much does it take for you to live today? Let's use a rough number of that. Let's use 80% of that number, and let's figure out what's going to be looking at that number. Now you're going to look at, well, what streams of income do I have coming in retirement? If I've got any pensions, what are they going to be? Social Security, rental income, all these different things. What is going to come to me, but it's not coming from my investments? Once you figure that out, what's going to be the gap? How much extra money do I need from my portfolio in order to make sure I've got all my living expenses covered? Now you're going to run a quick rule of thumb. You're going to look at your portfolio and say, 4% of my portfolio, does that fill in the gap? If it does, you're not behind. You're doing pretty well. If there's still a gap, now we're going to need to fix it and figure out how we're going to get you to a better place. The first thing you're going to do, you're going to look at the contributions you're making to your retirement accounts. So if you are not contributing to your 401k, go ahead and do that. If you have a free match at work, you're going to slap yourself around the face because you've been giving that free money for a period of time that could have just been yours in your pocket. Then you're going to look at IRAs. Then you're going to look at taxable brokerage accounts. Then you're going to look at HSAs if that's something you're eligible for with your health insurance. And you're going to start to maximize your savings. You're going to want to make sure that you are not putting it all in one tax bucket. So you've got 3 tax buckets. You've got tax deferred, taxable, and tax free. Tax free are your Roth accounts. You want to make sure that you are putting it in evenly amongst those 3 so you've got some options when you get into retirement. Take as much money as you can, and it might feel a little uncomfortable, but let's maximize those retirement contributions and other investment contributions now so that you're going to be more comfortable in retirement. All right, now we're going to do some things that hurt. We are going to adjust your lifestyle so you can get more money in order to invest it for the long term. Any extra money you have coming to you, bonuses, profit sharing, anything that comes to you as a check, it doesn't exist anymore. It's going to automatically go into savings. If you've got excess, I don't know what excess might look like to you, but let's say that you have a fun car that you drive on weekends. You don't anymore. You have 1 car. If you and your spouse work at home and you have 2 cars, you can probably get by with 1. Let's strip out all the excess of life because what you are trying to do is get you to a place where you feel comfortable about retiring and having enough money. Let's make some tough choices now in order to get you to that place where you feel comfortable ripping that cord and retiring. Now let's look at where that money's going to go. You've obviously got to invest it, and you need to do it in a smart way. Now, the only things that you can control are going to be the cost of the investments that you use and the taxes that they generate. Now, if you're investing in retirement accounts, you don't have to worry about taxes because a lot of those are deferred inside the plan, but you do get to control the investments. Now, you are going to look for investments that are as cheap as possible and don't do anything fancy. So you're going to be investing in index funds. So that's going to be the S&P 500. It's going to be stuff that's international. It's going to be index bond funds. You are going to create the cheapest portfolio you can so that all of your money is going into growing for the future. Now, if you find yourself in a bigger deficit than you want to be in terms of planning for retirement, you are not going to be swinging for the fences here. You are not going to be trying the next NVIDIA to try and get a 2,000% return over the next X years. We are going to be smart and methodical about this. You don't need all your money at the start of retirement. And you're obviously not going to cash everything out at the start of retirement. That's not the end goal. Your end goal is to make sure that you are invested prudently now so that you don't have to do any crazy changes going into retirement and even when you are taking money out of your portfolio later on. If that is still not enough, and this is number 5 in our plan, you are going to consider extending your work timeline. So if you need a few extra years to be saving all the money that you've now put into place and you've stripped your lifestyle out and you've pretty much done everything you can, if that's still not enough, you may need to work longer. So if you're planning on retiring at 62, you may need to say, I need to do 65. I may need to do 67 because I need those extra years to make up that gap. Another thing that you may consider is, well, I don't want to extend that timeline too much. That's fine. If you can do 62 to 65 with full-time work, well, what if you did 65 to 70 with part-time work? So you're not ripping that cord and just saying, okay, I'm going from full income to zero income. You're going to steadily decrease your income so that you don't need to live on your assets from day one, and you ease yourself into living off your investments and other income that you have. If you're thinking to yourself, this is actually my situation and I need some help, well, that's what I'm here for. My name is Dave Grant. You can find me at Retirement Matters, and I'll see you on the next video.
Dave Grant is the founder of Retirement Matters, a wealth management firm in Barrington, Illinois. Dave specializes in helping people transition into retirement, specifically executives at AbbVie and Illinois teachers in the TRS pension system. If you have concerns about your retirement transition and want help from a fee-only advisor with decades of experience helping people like you can learn more at www.retirementmatters.co.